Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I save $7,840 for a house. So let's get into this process that I actually doing it. I do not go to a traditional route in saving money for a house. I set a target goal for myself. So I use a non-conventional route for me to actually save those money. And don't be surprised, this is not a strategy that a lot of people use. This is my own strategy that I use it. So I use a target saving. I'm looking at an FHA loan. So the target saving for me is 3.5%. I use saving target at this 3.5% FHA loan to get into a real estate investment. I know normally we should save up 20% to put down so we can eliminate the PMI. But in this case, I'm using 3.5 FHA loan as my target saving. So I save it as a setting price by saving twice on that amount as my down payment. So every month, I save at least $1,500 every month into my money market fund. And for 8 months, I have a cushion of money in there. And normally the money will keep growing every month, every month. So I then look it into a house to see what type of house that I can purchase. But my target price is $150,000 to $225,000. That is my target price. And when I try to looking for a house, I don't look for a house that is super expensive in the area. And sometimes certain areas very expensive. And I don't get into a contract if the interest rate range between 4.5% to 5%. I don't get into the contract. I look into the contract if they're less than 4%. If they're less than 4%, then I do it. If they're more than 4% or 5%, I don't do it. I let it go. So when I'm looking for a house, I look at my target price because I know how much money I can manage. The bank will offer me more money to borrow, but for me, I know my ability and I want to have a cushion money left over that I can actually use to do something else. Not only pay down the house, I want to use it for some investment as well. So this is my step that I'm looking at to buy a house, and the target price range for me is $150,000 to $200,000. Now, I also, when I buy a house, I look at the structure of the house. When I drive by the house, I need to make sure that they are, presentable. They look good. They don't look like a barn. Well, some barn also look good too. But for me, I look at the area. I look at the house structure to make sure they not look like ugly house in the whole neighborhood. So it is important to look at that as well. So I also select the property that built in 2010 to 2020 or to present, because I don't want to buy an old house, and as a female I can't do a lot of fixing. I might have to hire people to come and fix it, and that's going to be another problem and cost add to the additional home buying. When I look into buying a house, I'm planning to do some research around the area as well. So when I get the house, I'm planning to refinance it to 10-year on my 70% LTV after owning the house for 2 years. I had been doing this in the past, and then I'm planning to do it in the future as well. Because I learned that after I own a house for a couple of years, now my house is having the price is going up, the appreciation of the house value is going up. So now I can refinance, and then I get a lower interest rate for the 10-year mortgage, because the 10-year mortgage sometimes the interest rate less than 3%. So my first property I had, the 10-year mortgage was 2.7%. So that was very good. And I have been paying it, almost done already. So hopefully we've done it in 2 years. So I will use the same strategy to purchase the new house, which is the same way that I used it in the past. And I have seen it as successful as of today. Now, after I get the house, my next step is to rent it out. So I have rented my property and gain some cash flow, and I use some of those cash to invest into index fund and left over to pay for the 529 that I had. So I will rent it out. It depends on the property itself. Some property might be have less than $1,800 a month because it depends on location. If you have a great location, you can rent it up to $2,000. In my case, I rented out 1,800 a month. So the contract with this property was, I believe, 3 year. I had a contract 2 year, but then they requested to have 3 year contract, so I did that. So now in 3 year, I actually can increase the rent to a little bit higher than 1,800 a month. So this is how I did it. I am planning to do the same thing for my next property, and I hope to earn some cash flow, because cash flow is very important for me, because I can use it to invest and gain more money. Because if I put all the money into the house, the money will be trapped inside the house. And it's important for me to have a cash flow. When they have a cash flow, I can move the money around and continue to invest. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe.